Hey, how are you? I have a fun ink project I wanted to share with you all and just show you the different things that you can do with chalk products. Okay, you don't have to just stick to the same old thing that you've always done. All right, I have this black pillowcase here that I bought off of Amazon, and this is the Fancy Florals pattern. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but we're going to use this on this pillowcase. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And I'm going to show you how you can use ink just a little bit different than what you're probably used to and make something really awesome for your house or for anyone as a gift or whatever. I think you're going to want to make this after I make it and show you. So let me get it together. And also, I burned my finger just now on my heat press. Y'all, it hurts so bad. Like right before I started my live, I burned myself. So, hey Stephanie, hey Kathy, what's going on, girls? So just so you know, this project that I'm about to do was not my idea. I did get this from another designer. But I love the idea so much, I wanted to do it desperately. And I just so happen to have some great colors that I can use. So I thought, why not? Let's give it a shot, right? So this is Fancy Florals. It's got some script on it. It's got some other things. So we're going to begin, first of all, by just putting down our pattern, okay? So I'm going to just take this. I'm not going to fuzz it or anything. Hey, Terry, how are you? And again, you can comment the word floral. That's our keyword tonight. To get the link to get the stuff that I'm using, okay? All right, so I'm going to just take this and put it right down like that. Okay, that's an easy way if you're using a big surface like this to get your transfer onto your surface. Now, a lot of the time I will use a fuzzing cloth. I'll just put my transfer on it and I'll fold the transfer over both sides of the fuzzing cloth. That works really well too. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that I have this pressed down really, really well because I don't want my ink to be leaking anywhere. Now, the one thing that I didn't realize when I ordered these pillowcases up at Amazon is that the seam for the zipper is right up the back. So I'm hoping that's not going to mess us up. We're going to try our best. I think it's going to be fine, but we're going to give it a try. Okay? And hopefully, I think this will be fine. If you want the link to these black pillowcases, let me know. I'll send you them from Amazon. Hey, Susan, how are you? Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad. And it's like almost all the way across my thumb too. Oh, terrible, I tell you. Okay, so we're going to start just with some bright white ink. Hopefully, yeah, that's good. Okay. My ink is dwindling. I have some more over there, but of course I didn't bring a new jar over here for myself. Okay, now I'm going to just go slow and get this whole transfer, okay? Now, I am going to have to do this twice, once now and once at the end. We're going to paint this, so I want to make sure that I get the whole thing. Now, for the script part, that has to be in white, obviously, on this black pillowcase, okay? We're going to go back over this once we get done painting it and do a final, like, coat, but we'll use black for that, okay? But for the script part, we want that to be white. We want the whole thing, the outlines, to all be white. And then once we finish, come back and go black over it again, okay? But not on the script. Hopefully we can differentiate. I don't know. We'll see. But we are going to heat set in between layers, so it's super helpful if you have a heat press. If you don't, that's okay. You're going to want to check the fabric that you're using. This is kind of a It's sort of satiny. I don't know what it is. Polyester probably. I didn't even look. But I lowered the heat on my heat press to 250. Okay, normally I do like 305. But I lowered it because I don't want to melt this fabric, which I've melted something before with my heat press. So I don't want to go too crazy. And if I just have to heat set it for a little bit longer, then that's what I'll do. Okay? But check that fabric type. Make sure that you understand how your heat press, what setting to use on your heat press or on your iron. But if you don't have a heat press, you can use an iron at like medium high heat, medium heat, depending on the fabric, for 4 minutes after it has sat for 24 hours. Okay, so let it dry first. So this will take a couple of times if you don't have a heat press, like a couple of days in order to finish this project. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But if you have a heat press, super fast, you can do it same day. Now, trying to clean up as much ink as I can because I'm gonna have to clean this transfer in here, and I don't want to have a whole ton of ink left on my transfer. So I'm just trying to scrape it up as I go. With ink, you don't have to worry about it drying. Hey, Tammy, how are you? But yeah, you don't have to wait for ink. I mean, you don't have to worry about ink possibly drying. It takes a long, long time to dry. So you can go nice and slow. You don't have to rush. With paste on a transfer this size, you got to move fast because you don't want it to dry. But we're not going to have that problem with ink. So I'm not real worried about it. Anyways, so I've got to go to New Orleans next week. I just booked a trip for work. From Monday to Wednesday, so I'm planning on going live from my hotel next week, so make sure that you're following. I'll hopefully be able to take some smaller projects that'll be fun to do. Alright. Man, my hand is sore from holding the squeegee. It's a lot. Alright. Alright, we're almost there. I think I'm going to turn this. My heat press is trying to turn off on me. It has an auto switch, which is nice because then I won't forget and not turn it off in here. But still, I'm in the middle of something here. Heat press. Give me a little bit longer than that. I know it's a safety feature, but still. I work for an agricultural company, and right now we're doing some large projects. And my team, so I run the scheduling department for my company. And right now I've got a team that's working on some big projects. And so I have to go out to the sites and meet with contractors and just see the team, go and do team lunches and other things like that, team building stuff. Because my team is at the site, so I got to go out there and show my face. I work from home normally, though. So, it's pretty great. Plus, I get air miles and, like, hotel points and stuff. So then I don't have to pay for flights whenever Chris and I travel. Which is wonderful, y'all. Let me tell you what. I haven't paid for a flight in years. Like, out of pocket at all. Thank goodness. Except for like there's a tax that you have to pay that's not you can't get around it, but it's like for domestic flights it's like $11. And international flights it's a little bit more, but it's still cheaper than a flight. So that's pretty great. All right, now I'm going to pull this up, and as I pull it up, I just want to make sure. Ooh, this looks gorgeous. Oh man. Okay. I would be tempted to not do another thing to this. Okay? This is beautiful. On this black pillowcase. Oh my gosh. Wow. This looks like I just went to Home Goods, y'all, and bought this. Okay? And this is something that's totally my style. I would absolutely buy a pillow just like this. Without a doubt. Like, I would see it. Sorry, I have a paintbrush stuck to that. I want to move it before it is irretrievable. Okay. This is beautiful. Okay? I don't know about y'all, but this is totally my style right here. Okay? Yeah, it's a pretty cool job. It's really neat to get to go and do things. I mean, I don't go anywhere fantastic. I go to New Orleans, but, I mean, I don't go out there to party or anything like that, which at my age, I'm not interested in doing any of that kind of stuff anyways. All right. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Let me know in the comments what you think about this print so far, because, oh my gosh, I love it. I could leave it just like this. So we're going to heat set this. We're going to have to do this multiple times. I've got this set on 250 for 30 seconds. Okay? And we're going to have to move around the pillow because my heat press is small. So, totally okay to do it like this. Just hold it in place and then move around. I did put my heat mat underneath here. I'm not going to touch that hot thing on the heat press again. I cannot believe I did that. I was trying to change the temperature and it was turned around like this, and I grabbed it like that after it was heated up and made a huge mistake. I mean, it was like burned like fire immediately. Okay, so I'm going to probably do the center, really, yeah. Like that. We'll do it 3 times here, 3 times there, and maybe down the middle too. I don't know. We'll see. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, that's 205 worked great. Just right. It's got 3 seconds left on it. Okay, and then I'll move it over one more time. 30 more seconds. We'll go down to the bottom. Well, maybe we'll move to the middle first. That makes more sense. And you could totally stop here. Okay, this pillowcase is perfect. I have several pillows that I've made on my couch right now and in my bedroom. And actually, oh man, I didn't hit start. And in my guest room, we keep a butterfly pillow that I made. Sorry, I was like trying to think of the word. On the bed. And y'all, these pillows that we make, they look like I bought them. And you know how expensive pillows are. So I'm making them all the time. In fact, the one that I have on the couch right now, I've been using it to lean up against to like lay my head on for naps lately. Whenever I napped on it over the weekend, I was using that pillow and it's perfect. I do like to overstuff my pillows. I buy this big thing of polyfill. I ordered it from Amazon and it comes all crunched up in like a tiny ball, but it's giant. Because I love making pillows. I make them all the time for my lives and just because I like pillows. Alright, that's about done. Okay, so I'm going to scoot this over and go like that. It's completely heat set now. Okay, so I like to do this whenever I have wet ink in between layers, because then I don't have to worry about smudging it, smearing it around, messing it up. I know that it's done, and then I can do my next step, and then I can heat set again. Okay, you can heat set ink multiple times if you need to. Hi, Alma, how are you? And there's no issue with that. Okay. All right. One more time here. Hey, Stace, how are you? So we've been having some issues with our air conditioning system, and I have an AC guy coming tomorrow. Doing great. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Anyway, we have been having some big time issues with our air conditioning. It's running fine, but there's a bunch of condensation, and it's been a whole thing. So my parents are actually coming over tomorrow to meet the guy, and my dad's going to talk to him and go up in the attic and have a look at everything. And like, we also have a couple windows that are drafty. So my dad's going to check out that and see if maybe he can just caulk those windows for me. I don't know. I'm doing well. I'm stressed about this whole situation with my house. Like, I feel like I'm living in a money pit, to be honest with you. It's pretty terrible. So hopefully we can find a simple solution, especially for the windows. The ones in my bedroom are like super drafty. In the wintertime, I can feel cold air, and it's like, I don't like this. And obviously in the summertime, I don't want hot air coming in. We're already paying enough for electric bills, so trying to get that situated and hoping, just crossing my fingers that I don't have to replace all of the windows in the stinking house. So, y'all pray for me because I need it, okay? I'm stressed. Big time. And I don't know how I'm going to get the money to do it, so I'll have to, I don't know, figure it out. So I'm really tempted whenever I go back over this to go back over it with the white again, because it is on the black surface. I think the girl that I took this idea from did black over it, but I'm thinking white would be better. So we're going to see once we get there, okay? I don't know. I haven't decided. Now, whenever you comment, thank you, Susan. Whenever you comment the keyword, which is floral, you'll get the link to get the stuff to make this, okay? That black ink is included in the link, and if you order all that stuff, then you also get the color of the month for this month. Now, this is the thing, though, okay? I'm going to use the color of the month from last month. This is Ditto. I haven't used it yet, okay? My order got caught up in the mail. Thank you, post office, for that. And I didn't get it until super late, so I'm using it. Okay, sorry, but I'm gonna. And that just goes to show that if you love a color of the month and you didn't grab it, you should grab it. I do have some jars of it, though, if you still need it. Now, I'm just painting this on with a paintbrush, all right? All of these flowers are going to be purple. And yeah, I'm thinking white over. Now, I'm just going right in the lines, okay? I'm not really going to be, I'm going to not go outside of the lines, but I'm not going to be really concerned with anything inside the lines, because we're going to go back over this with one more coat of the transfer on top. So I just need to make sure that I fill it in, okay? And I'm just trying to do a light coat of that Ditto. And again, if you didn't grab this ink from the color of the month last month and you want it, you can comment ditto right here in the comments, and I'll invoice you and send it to you. Okay, I have a couple jars. Now, I don't want this to be super thick, okay? That's the only thing, because it will take a really long time to heat set. And it'll feel kind of rubbery if the ink is really thick, so once it's heat set. So I just want to keep that in mind, okay, whenever I'm painting this. But the great thing about this is I can twist it and turn it and all that stuff, and I don't really have to worry about inside the lines, because we'll just go right back over it with the transfer, and it'll be like we never messed up the lines. So basically what we did first was just a guide, okay? Now, who else loves florals like me? I love them. And it's funny because I grew up as a very much a tomboy. I was not trying to wear any florals. I was not trying to have florals in my space. In fact, my multiple first apartments, my mom walked into them the first time and said, looks like a man lives here. Because that was my style, was like very stark, black, silver, white. No color in sight, no flowers, nothing. Now, everything on my walls, unless if it's family photos, is all like landscape prints and floral prints, which I find to be kind of funny how your style changes over time. All right. Also, I wasn't really sure how this angled brush was going to work out for me, but it's doing pretty good. Also got from Amazon. I swear, it's my favorite place to shop. I think of things, and then I just go on Amazon, and in general, I can find everything I need there. Okay. So, let's see. I'm trying to figure out what that is. I think it's another flower, but I'm not sure. So I do have a green here too. All right. Yeah, Amazon's great. It sure is crazy how that's evolved too, to me. How just like the internet, y'all, is so amazing. Whenever you think about it, okay, how all of us who are on here right now have lived in a time with and without internet. And like how the kids don't really understand that concept of not having internet, you know, not having everything at your fingertips, not having a map on your phone. It's really, it's astonishing to me the way technology is just, there's self-driving cars. I mean, yeah, okay, so we thought we'd be flying by now, right? But still, that we'd have flying cars, but still, what we do have is pretty incredible. And I don't doubt that our ancestors will have figured out the flying car situation. We'll have Jetsons type freeways up in the sky. Maybe. I don't know. I think this is... It looks like this might be another leaf over here. It's kind of hard to tell, so I'm going to go for it. Alright. I do love that there are only like 4 big flowers on here, so it's not a whole ton to paint. It is a lot, but it's not that much. Now, I'm just using my ink straight. I'm not adding any water to it or anything like that. Now, this is a brand new jar of ink, okay? If I try to do this with my that jar of white ink that I have right here, there's no way. It's older. I don't know how old, but old. And it's real thick, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're using an older jar, you may have to add water and thin it out just a little bit, just like you would with paste, okay? In order to use it as a paint, but you can do the same thing as you do with the paste with our ink. And believe me, I was real tempted to just leave it with just the white. So you could absolutely do that, okay? You do not have to paint all of this. Just the white flowers on this black background is so stark and gorgeous. And they were talking the other day, Chalk, about simplicity and things like that. I don't know. Those of you that are designers and Perks members, you probably saw where Brandy was saying, you know, about simplicity and like that sometimes less is more, okay? And that if you just do one color on something, that's okay, all right? So don't feel like you have to overwhelm your project with a bunch of different colors. Like, I didn't want to do multiple floral colors on this. That would have been overwhelming to me, to try and choose multiple colors for flowers and stuff like that. So I wanted to keep it simple, but the black and white alone is absolutely stunning just by itself. Okay. And these pillowcases, I did get them off of Amazon, and it came in like a multi-pack. I don't know how many were in there, but it was definitely more than one. Keep that going. Okay. All right. Last flower, and then we can, oh, hold on. You can also see what's going to be what based on, because these prints are repeatable. So, like, I know this is a flower right here because that one at the top is cut off. So it's just a repeat from the top, so that you could easily make this like a repeated pattern. It would be so pretty on furniture. Oh my goodness. There are so many different things I could do with this one that I would love to see done. Okay, and then our last one. Now, I know you think this looks like a purple blob right now. I get it, okay? I hear you. But trust the process. Trust me, I'm going to take you somewhere and you're going to love it, I hope. And I can't be helped because purple is my favorite color. I don't know if this color, I think these are peonies. I'm not sure. I don't think this color is something in the wild, but I don't care even a little bit. And what I love is that the example, the one that I saw, she had done this in purple, and I absolutely loved it with that shimmer violet ink. Oh my gosh, if y'all have that, we have a shimmer violet ink, right? Maybe it's a new one. I loved it. It looks so good with the shimmer. But I thought, you know what? Let's use Ditto. And if you don't have Ditto and you missed it and you want it, you can comment Ditto here and I will hook you up. I'm trying to see, I think this is, I'm gonna just assume, because that's definitely a, here. Okay, now that that's done, we can close up this purple. And at this point, you could totally heat set it if you want to, but I have Scout ink right here, and I want to do my leaves. Okay, so I'm going to quickly get my leaves and my stems, and then we're going to heat set it. We're going to clean the transfer and go over it one more time. They are not, but I can send you the link. Sorry, I need to add a bunch of stuff to my Amazon list, and I try not to add things until after I use them, so that I know that it's good. Because if it's no good, I don't want to have it on there and have you guys buy it and then be disappointed, you know? I think I need a little bit smaller. I was thinking I was going to need a bigger paintbrush for some of this, but, and maybe I do, but for smaller stuff, we're going to use a smaller one, okay? And these little Dollar Tree ones, oh, this isn't the Dollar Tree one, but there's a couple, I have a couple little tiny Dollar Tree paintbrushes, y'all. I swear, I know I tell you this every time, but they're my favorite for small brushes. They work so good. They're good quality. So if you're in Dollar Tree and you are in the craft section and you see that it's like a 2-pack of paintbrushes, grab it because they're so good for $1.25. Now, I'm trying not to leave a whole bunch of ink behind while I'm doing this, so I'm trying not to leave it too thick because I don't want it to feel rubbery. That's the one thing about doing ink. If it's really thick, it's gonna feel weird. Okay, so after it's heat set. And I'm kind of bouncing a little bit back and forth, but trying to go in order. Now this is Scout. It is a shimmer metallic ink. And I believe this is one of them that came out this with the fall launch. And I love this one. It is such a nice shimmer. I really wish that they would change all of our shimmer colors to this metallic because they're my favorite. And they're just better than the shimmers are. That period. Hands down, better. And I prefer them. Plus you can paint with the metallic ones. And the other shimmers, some of them you can't paint with. Now, I don't know about the inks. I haven't tried to paint with all of our inks, but I imagine it's similar to the paste. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to paint with this Scout because I didn't test it first. And that would have been bad if I would have come on here thinking, yeah, I can just paint with the Scout, and then I try once and it's like, nope, you're not going to be painting with that, lady. And then I messed myself up. So, oh, I have a leaf over there that I need to finish. I'm going to just continue with this smaller paintbrush. I think it'll be easier. Then I don't have to switch back and forth. So I started a new book today. I finished the other one I was reading and started a new one, or listening to. I listen to audiobooks. It's called My Lovely Wife. Okay. Now, if you like a psychological thriller, then you need to go immediately. And I don't know how you get your books, but I do audiobooks. So I go to Libby and I check stuff out at my library. It's called My Lovely Wife. It is so good so far. And I'm really enjoying it. I had to pause my audiobook to come and do my live, and which is sometimes it's difficult to do, okay? I know. I have to physically restrain myself from either staying up all night or laying in there just listening to an audiobook 24/7, because that's literally all I want to ever do. Now, I could have taken or leaving this green part. The purple part is really more what I care about here. If I were to do this project over, I probably wouldn't do the green. I don't know. Maybe I would still. But I do like it with the purple. That's not my favorite. Okay? To paint. It's kind of a pain to paint. But I think it's going to be worth it anyways. All right. Now, I am using ink. This is not paste. We are going to have to heat set it. If you don't have a heat press, it's okay. Okay, you can do the same project exactly the way I'm doing it, except you need to have some time in between your layers. Unless, of course, you want to just go for it with wet ink. Okay, now I don't recommend that. I did heat set my white before I moved on. I feel like if I wouldn't have heat set it before I started the purple and the green, that I'd be smearing that ink all over the place. So take it how you want it, okay? But if you don't have a heat press, you can wait 24 hours in between layers and heat set it with an iron after 24 hours and then move on to the next step, okay? And then at the end, you're going to want to do the same thing, wait 24 hours, and then heat set that entire project all at once with the colors all done. Now, it looks to me like my colors are done, I think. Pretty sure. Oh, I think I have a leaf right here. So, all right. I've got treating this like it's paint over here. I need to be careful because ink is permanent. Don't get it on your clothes. All right. Now, pretty sure that's a leaf. So let me just get this ditto. And again, if you didn't get your ditto ink and you wanted it, you missed it, you can comment ditto right here and I will invoice you for a jar as long as I still have one left. I have a couple of them. And I would love to help you get one. I can't tell if that's a leaf or a flower petal, so I'm going to assume it's a flower petal right here. I don't know. I can't tell. Just looking at it. I'll probably be able to tell here in a minute whenever I lay down the other part. But whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to heat set this again. My heat press is freaking out, but that's okay. So I'm going to just set that down and I'm going to heat set. Now, I want to be real careful when I lift this parchment up and move it over that I don't smudge my ink that I haven't set yet. Okay, I'm doing 30 seconds at 250. Yes, Christmas pillows would be great. Hi, Gwen. Sorry I didn't see your comment. I was preoccupado. And you know what? I think that's a leaf right there too. So I'm going to attempt to not screw this up. So let me see, get that started. And like I said a minute ago, I can tell that this is a leaf because there's a leaf up here on this side and it's not mirrored, but it's repeatable. So that pattern is going to be the same. You're going to find the same elements from the top to the bottom. So the top of this leaf is here, the bottom of it is over on this side. Okay, so that's kind of helpful. Now that's completely heat set over here, what I painted already on this side. So this is good news. we're moving along nicely. Get that going. And make sure you don't have ink all over you. I did pretty good. I did not make a mess. I didn't get it on my hands, but one time, just a little tiny little dot of ink that I got on my hand, on this hand a minute ago while I was painting. So I call that a win, okay? Now, we're going to heat set this entire thing, and then we're going to have to go over it one more time with the white to get all those lines to be defined again, because now it's just, it looks weird, okay? It just looks like blobs. And we don't want blobs, we want defined flowers, right? So, let us not spread that green ink everywhere. I don't know. It's probably from me painting it being too heavy-handed with the green, but that's okay. We'll move on. Keep going. And we'll do the same heat set that we did the last time and just move this over a couple more times, get the whole thing, and then we'll lay down that transfer again. We will have to clean it though. That's the only thing I'm not really looking forward to a whole lot, because cleaning a transfer in this room is really difficult. It's just not my favorite pastime. I prefer in the sink. It's so much easier. So at home, go ahead, take it to your kitchen, go put it in the sink, rinse it, and get that ink off of there real easy in between layers. That way you don't got to worry, okay? Excuse me. Okay. Get this thing moved over, just like that. We'll go one more time along the bottom, and then this part will be done, and we can put our, oh man. Oh my gosh. I'm making a mess down here, y'all. Spreading green and purple paint, ink all over the darn place. Okay. Let me turn that so I don't get it on myself. Okay. I think we're good as far as most of this. I did have one little issue over here, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It's fine. Alright, so that's our... This color is really nice. I'm loving this ditto. It reminds me of that purple character. What's his name from McDonald's? Do you remember? That's the color. Back when McDonald's had their I forget that little guy's name. So I have a little bit of green right here. That is the one problem with using this piece of parchment, is that all the ink sometimes will get on it and then transfer. And like I have some ink on this one. I'm going to throw this one away as soon as I finish this. And that's fine. Not reuse it again because it's got purple ink on it. Okay, so there's our flowers. That's what you're going to look like. And then, let me set this over here to the side. I did put some parchment down on my desktop because my desk is so dirty with paint. But, maybe I'll clean it one day. I don't know. I haven't yet. Okay, now this is a lot of ink to clean on my, in my room. So, I'm going to start with some baby wipes and some water, and I'm going to just spray water first. And then give it a good wipe down. And this helps a lot to just not make a giant mess. Especially whenever you have a big transfer like this. And there's a lot of ink or paste to remove, okay? And I'm just using a tiny bit of water, just enough to help that baby wipe stay wet, okay? And then now, if you get your transfer stuck to itself, I assume that you guys know that you can just run it under water, and that will, like, water acts like it's a lubricant on these transfers, and it will just come right apart. Okay, so don't freak out if you get it stuck to itself. Just go take it right to the sink, run it under water, and you'll be good to go. It'll be fine. Okay, I promise. I've done it so many times. Okay, and now we're going to actually clean with the board eraser. And my sprayer's not one to... There it goes. Okay. A little bit of water on there too. And just make sure you get all of that ink out of that silk screen. Some colors will stain your transfer, by the way, and that's all right. It happens. It's not going to hurt it. Yay! I'm excited. I can't wait to see it, Sandy. I love that project so much. That little ghost with the swing is just the cutest. All right, then just trying to get the remainder off of here. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to run that board eraser over it one more time, just real quick, because you can see there's still a little bit of ink on here, but it's all on this side now. So get both sides. And make sure that you don't have any ink at all on in your silk screen. All right. And at this point, if you were done with your project, you could just lay this out to dry with the sticky side up. I leave mine in my kitchen on the counter, like on the side counter that we don't really use a lot. But if you have kids, y'all just understand that kids are a little goofy sometimes, and they don't think about what they're doing, but they might come into your kitchen and take a grocery bag and set it on top of this and then have a grocery bag stuck to it, okay? And that has happened to me many times because nobody around here thinks about anything except their own self. So keep that in mind if you got kids that don't pay attention, which I do around here. Now I'm just using the microfiber side to dry this. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it and dry it once on this side with the microfiber side too. Okay, and then we're ready to go for a round 2. All right, now flip this the right way so that we can see what the heck we're doing. Take that transfer and make sure the transfer is the right way. And then you should very easily be able to see your lines through this and line that right back up. Okay, so now one thing about doing an ink project that's going to be layered, I do not like to use an ink mat. Okay, because it seems like every single time that I've used an ink mat when I've got a layering project, I've accidentally pulled that fabric on the ink mat and stretched it, so then I've messed up where my placement is for my transfer to go back down. So that's why you did not see me use an ink mat tonight. And then I'm just working around the transfer. To make sure that I can get it lined back up, okay? And the main parts that I'm looking at are gonna be these flowers, okay? I don't really care to go back over the words. The flowers and the leaves, I definitely do, okay? But all of it's gonna be white again. So and somehow even this one feels like a little bit stretched. I got like there was a little stretching going on whenever I put down this transfer to begin with. So I just need to make sure that I'm happy with my flowers and that I don't have any giant bubbles, which I'm working those out. Okay, get that flattened down for the most part on this side, and then I can move to the other side in just a second. There we go. All right. And yeah, this one would be great. These pillowcases would be awesome for Christmas pillows. All right. Took a little longer than anticipated, but we made it, I think. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. A little worried right here, though. This. See, that's what concerns me right here, is that this side is not wanting to cooperate as much as this side is. So, just concerned. I do have a concern for sure. Okay, but we're gonna make it through. It'll be fine, right? And my ink is not super thin, which is also good. So I won't have a big problem with bleeding, hopefully, as long as I don't have any giant bubbles. But even if I did have a bubble, because my ink is pretty thick, it should be okay. All right, so I'm gonna just go back over and hope for the best. Now I'm going to focus on my leaves, my flowers, and not worry about the words as much as the leaves, okay? And I've just decided not to even worry about the outlines really. I'm more worried about the inside part of the leaves, okay, and the flowers. Well, I said I didn't want to worry about the outline, and then here I am getting the outlines. On some of them, I can't help it on that part, but I'm trying my best. Okay, heat press. So demanding. Hey, I'm going to turn off. You better care about me. Okay. All right. I think this ink's going to be about done for by the time I get done with this one. And we can switch to a new jar. All right. I've got it all over me. Alright, there we go for that. You've got one more leaf right here. Another one here. Now, as you can see, I'm not doing the outside of the flowers, and I'm trying not to. I'm not doing the words again. I'm just getting these lines on the petals and the leaves. And on the stems, okay? And I think that that's all of them. Now I've made a giant mess in my hands. So let me clean up. Now the great thing is I can go in there and I have my brand new nails I just put on earlier. Whenever I get done, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take a board eraser under my kitchen sink and clean my nails with it. Okay? Alright. And if I have any paste or ink dried on my, or even paint dried on my nails, that's exactly how I get it off. Alright. Looks pretty good so far. So good. I think this is a winner, y'all. Thank goodness. I was a little afraid. Not gonna lie. Okay, let me close this so that I know it's gonna dry, but still I don't want to get it everywhere. Alright, last time to do a heat set all the way around, but look how great this turned out. I love it. I'm gonna go ahead and heat set all of it and get it stuffed. If you want to hang out, I'll be here. If not, I'll post a photo here in just a little while so that you can see the finished project with it all stuffed and everything, okay? I hope you all have a great night. I love you so much. You can comment the word florals right here to get a link to get all the stuff to make this, okay? And again, if you want this ditto ink and you didn't get it last month, comment ditto on this post and I will send you an invoice. Love you guys. Good night.